Hey, what's up guys? It is Card Shuffler 99 here, and today I'm going to show you guys 10 very unique card forces. These are not going to be your, everyday in the hand card force. I think it's important for magicians to know, especially when creating tricks, different kinds of card forces besides just saying, pick a card and forcing a card like that. I think a lot of tricks, you want to make it unique. You want to be able to do different kinds of card forces that people have never seen before. So here's a list of 10 unique card forces that are not going to be just in the hand card forces. These are going to be a little more special. So let's get straight into it. For some of these, I'm not going to perform them. I'm going to show you guys just exactly what to do. So this is how you're going to do the first card force. All you're going to need to do this card force is a joker. And on the back of the joker, you can see I have a card. Now, you don't need that line. Sorry, I don't know why that's written there. But you need a card that's cut and taped to the back of the joker. How do I do this? You just take a joker, for example. Let's say this was a joker. And you're going to tape a card to it just like this. Okay, just tape a piece of double-sided tape right there. Flip it over, and you're going to trim that off with an X-Acto knife. And that'll leave you with something like this. Okay? So that's all you're going to need for this. And you just keep it flipped over. And what you're going to do is just fan through the cards, like so. And you hold the joker towards your audience. You say, tell me when to stop. And all you're doing is you're just putting this into the deck like that. And you're going to say, you stopped me at the 5 of spades. Just like that, you forced the 5 of spades. You can flip the deck over, take the joker out. And now you can put the joker in your pocket. And just like that, you made the 5 of spades also disappear from the deck. And you can keep going with a different trick or whatever you need to do. But that is the first one. And anyway, let's move on to force number 2. So the force number 2 actually uses a couple die. Now, this is how this specific force is going to work. What you're going to need is a random card that you want to force. So let's say we use the 4. This card is going to go in the 14th position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in the 14th position, you're going to put your card that you're going to force. If you use 3 die, you can put it in the 21st position. I'll tell you why. What you're going to do is you're going to tell them to roll the die, add these numbers up, and then you're going to ask them to flip the die directly over and then add that. What people don't know about die is that opposite sides always add up to 7. So no matter if they roll 2 die, it's always going to add up to 14. If you had 3, you can make it 21. You just tell them to do that. 7, flip it over, another 7, bam, 14, right? Just like that, it's in the 14th position. From there, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And in the 14th position, you can show your forced card. So, that is that. Anyway, let's get on to the next card force. And this card force deals with a coin. How is this card force going to work, you may ask? I highly recommend you guys use 2 of the same card, and what better than the 2 jokers. Now, they don't have to be identical. It's completely fine if they're not, but I recommend using the 2 jokers, and I'll explain why. One you're going to put on the top, and one's going to go on the bottom. Now, this is going to be kind of reminiscent of the dribble force, except instead of just stopping it at that spot, you, the magician's actually going to throw a coin in. So what you're going to do is going to get your break here. So you have a joker here, and you have a joker here, of course. And basically what you do is you get your break, just like that. And you're going to dribble the cards. And when it gets to the break, of course, you're going to throw the coin in and continue dribbling. Now, of course, when you do this, you want the dribble to look normal. You want it to look like a typical dribble. And it should look like this. Something just like that. That's what you want it to look like. You're just dribbling through and throwing a card in, or a coin in. The reason I say use 2 cards is because sometimes people feel the break and then they throw the card in, but they're a little late. That's why this gives you kind of 2 opportunities. If you miss the first chance, which is there, you get another opportunity to stop it on top of the joker. But literally all you do is you're in this situation here, dribble through, when you get to the break, throw it in, and continue dribbling. Don't just throw it on. Just continue dribbling. If you want to see the actual performance of that specific card force, check out. I'll have a link to that in the description section below. But anyway, let's get to the next card force. And this one uses a prediction and an envelope. How are you going to do this? All you're going to do is take a card or an index card, and I wrote down a specific card on it, in this case the 4 of diamonds. So let's go ahead and let's grab the 4 of diamonds. Where's the 4 of diamonds? That's a great question. Alright, so this is how this specific card force is going to work. I cannot find the 4 diamonds. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm an idiot. So, this is how this is going to work. You have a prediction envelope, and you're going to put your prediction inside the envelope, of course. And right underneath the envelope goes the 4. Perfect, right? You're going to start with this on the table. You have the spectators shuffle the deck. And you basically tell them start placing down cards. And they can stop whenever they want. Remember, they got to shuffle it. When they say stop, you say, okay, we're going to mark where you stopped us. Right there. And just like that, you just drop the card that was under the envelope on there. And just like that, you forced it. Now, this shows a prediction. If you don't want to immediately go to a prediction, what you can do is you can actually use the card box. And you can put the card under the card box. And just like that, you can do the same thing. And from there, you can just force this. And you can go on to whatever trick you want to do. Now, let's get to the kind of the next card force, and it's very similar. It's going to use the box as well. And what you're going to do here is you're going to have a card that you want to force inside the box. Now, what you're going to do here is you're going to start with this in the box, and you're going to start by shuffling the deck, okay? Make sure the spectator holds the deck, they shuffle it, and what you're going to do is you're going to put the deck back in the box, okay? Clearly, you don't want to show that, so you hold it towards yourself, and you put it in the box. Now, what does this do? It puts the force card in the bottom of the deck, okay? And basically, you put it back in, you know, you make up a story, you say, you know, you got to make it, you got to shuffle it, and then you can actually use that time to make a prediction while you have the deck in the box, then you can take it out. The force card's on the bottom. What I like to do here is just cut half the deck off, you let them say stop, and from here you can make 2 piles. Now, if you want to force 2 cards, then you would just have 2 cards in the box, and you can make 2 piles. And of course, the last 2 cards are going to be the cards you need. Now, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So clearly, this is going to be the card you want to force, but if you have 2 cards you want to force, this is also going to work. Now, let's say you want to force 1 card. This is where the final card went. All you do is Magician's Choice. You say, you know, pick a pile. If they pick this one, you can just flip it over. If they pick this one, you say, okay, we'll put that away, and then you can ultimately flip that one over. Now, let's get to the next card force. Now, this is kind of a different card force. You're going to put the card inside the box. Just, you know, random card inside the box from the beginning. And what you do is you have them select a card, okay? Just like that. And what you're going to do is you're not going to let them look at the card. Not until the end of the trick. So, you know, make sure you know which trick you want to perform. That kind of deals with them not knowing the card till the end. And what you're going to do here is you're actually going to pretend to put it in the box. How are you going to do this? You're going to hold it like this. You have the flaps out, of course. And all you're doing is you can, you know, jab it a little bit, and you're just going to slide it right underneath the box. From there, you can close it up. Just like that. And all you have to do is set it on top of the deck. And that'll put the card that they selected there. And you can have them hold the box, shake it. They can feel the cards in there. And just like that, you were able to force that card. Now let's get to the next card force. This is going to be a very interesting card force that uses a container and a couple index cards. Now, quick disclaimer, your index cards should be blank on both sides. You can use like a piece of computer paper. I highly recommend that. Now, this has lines, so please, you know, I don't recommend doing that. Make sure it's blank on both sides, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So, this is what you're going to do. In the corner of 2 different index cards, you're going to write a random number, so let's say 7. And it's going to be 1 through, you know, 1 through king, ace through king. So I chose 7. And here you write a suit, so I'll just put H for heart. Okay? So in the 2 corners, I just did that. Now, from the beginning of the trick, what you're going to do is start tearing it into little pieces. Okay? Now, credit to this goes out to Jay Sankey. He came up with this pretty cool principle, which is awesome. So, what you're going to do is tear the pieces, and you need to remember which one has the written heart. So, it's this piece, right? And you continue tearing, and make sure you keep your eye on that piece. Why? Because you're gonna say, we're gonna start out by writing random suits. You're going to write heart on both sides. So, you start with this written before the trick. During the trick, you're actually going to write heart. And then you can go ahead and do spade, club, diamond, whatever you want to do, write it on all of these, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to put these inside the container. Now, of course, I didn't finish it. You want to use all of them. Flip it down, and you're going to say any card that, any piece that comes out face down, we're going to eliminate. So there's face down, we're going to eliminate. Now, the reason this works is because heart is written on both sides. So there's no way it can get eliminated. That's why you need a blank piece on both sides, because if it comes out lined and they're going to see it says heart, they're going to be a little, kind of questioning that. And that way you can force heart. It's written on both sides, so it'll never come out face down. And just do the same thing with the number. And you're good to go. You force the card, and you're ready to continue on with the trick. Now let's move on to the next card force. So, this is a bit of a different card force. You're going to need some paper, and you're going to need a card. Now, I recommend using like dictionary paper or paper out of a book. And I have 2 sheets here. Okay, disregard the tear there. What I do is I take a force card, or a card I want to force. I put it in the middle of the 2 pieces of paper, and I basically tape these 2 pieces of paper together as one. Okay, so something just like that. Now, clearly, let's tape this actually. Let's actually tape it. It's not taped. So clearly when you're doing this, your paper should not be torn, but I actually already used this piece of paper for the trick already, so that's why it's already torn. Now, basically you have this preset, and it's going to be right there. If you're worried that, this is going to show, you can use multiple pieces of paper and just have this one and make sure you know which one this is. You're also going to need a knife, so you can also put the knife on top. From there, what you do, you have them shuffle the deck, and you just spread the deck around the card mat. Something like that. From there, you can put this piece of paper, and I also recommend, put a bunch of other sheets all over the deck, right? And all you have to do is just put the knife in and pull the card out, just like that. Now, just like that, you're able to force it. Now, clearly make sure it's face down like the rest of the deck. And also, I recommend using multiple pieces of paper, so you should have papers all over the place. But only one of them is going to have a card in the middle. And you know which one it is. You just stab and pull it out, and you can just force that card. So that's a pretty unique way to get someone to select a card. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about another kind of card force. This is known as the psychological force. What is a psychological force, you may ask? It's a force that, well, clearly it's a psychological force. So let's talk about how this force is going to work. What do you need to do to accomplish this? Right? Clearly that's what we need to know. This is how the psychological force works. You basically tell them, pick a color, red or black. And no matter what they say, you're going to lean them towards one. Of course, if you go to a girl or a guy, guys are more inclined to say black, girls are more inclined to say red. You can do either or, it doesn't matter. But let's say you need to force the 9 of hearts. What you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, pick red or black. Let's say they say red. You're going to say, okay, we're going to use diamond and heart. If they say black, you're going to say, all right, we're going to get rid of that. Okay? Try not to make this too obvious. Okay? Try not to make it too obvious. Now, this isn't the #1 force, but like I said, a lot of magicians do actually use this. So let's say they say black. You're just going to say, let's get rid of the blacks. From there, you go like ace through 5 or 5 through king. Same deal. If they say what you want them to say, you basically say, all right, we're going to use that. And you just bring it down odd or even. They say odd. Clearly, it's going to work. If they say even, you're going to say, okay, let's get rid of the evens. Typically, this pattern does work, and people usually don't notice, to be honest with you guys. Now, I don't recommend this as the #1 force to use, to be completely honest, but yeah, it's not the #1 method. But anyway, let's move on to another method, and this is going to be the last method of the day, and I kept it for last for a reason. And it's kind of because it's not something everybody's going to be able to do. So, what you need for this is a Svengali deck. If you don't know what a Svengali deck is, basically what it is, I'll give you guys a quick example of what the Svengali deck is. It's basically a deck that has a bunch of the same card. And these cards are they're shorter than others, clearly. So, what happens is you basically have I don't have the Svengali deck on me, but this is generally how it works, where you have red cards here and some black cards, and basically one of the colors, or one, you know, it's going to be shorter than the other in a way. So if you had these cut here, and basically if you flipped it through like this, let me try to get this, all the red cards show up. So if you went through just like this, all the red cards show up. So basically what you can do is you can go through and all the red cards would be the same, but you would do it, this way. And basically, it's just the Svengali deck. You can look it up for yourself. All it is, it's really just some shorter cards, where basically, I know one way you can use the Svengali. If you hold it like this, they're all different. And if you, like, riffle them down like this and have them put their finger in, they're always going to grab the same card. That's essentially what happens. And it just works with the height and the dimensions of the cards. That's really all the Svengali deck is. I just want to keep that for last. It's just, something you guys can buy. It's a great way to force a card. You're not exactly going to be left clean, but that's why I left it for last. But guys, that is our list of 10 different unique card forces. We are going to have a part 2 to unique card forces, and we also will be having a video coming out for just typical everyday card forces that you guys can use. Just in the hand card forces that most of you guys typically like to use. So we'll have that coming out as well. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of card forces. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And this is Card Shuffler 99. Thank you guys so much, and peace out.